Oh shit. Here we go again. Oh, can't believe I'm doing this. Fuck, I hate it. Hello, YouTube. It's called Impromptu Live, that sucks. I'm gonna call it I Am Very Sad. Because I am. And I guess I wanted to talk about it. And I've been wanting to talk about it for a long ass time. And it's tearing me apart to talk about it. It really fucking is. Because I've just decided a year ago that I wasn't gonna talk. Turning on the compressor about my feelings, really. I wasn't gonna talk about who I am. You know, I think there's a really dangerous. Fuck, it's so hard. Aspect. There's a dangerous aspect of the star culture. You know what I mean? When you idolize somebody and you consume their art, at the same time you just get a really warped, distorted idea of who they really are, and you care way too much, and you don't care about yourself the way you should, and then that feeds into a whole plethora of toxic things like standing and maybe the wrong sides of cancel culture are part of that. And yeah, it's just not something I like. So I was thinking about that a year ago, and then I started thinking also about the worst bits of myself and my story, and I was like, ooh, shit, that really sucks. I don't want to even talk about anything now. I'm just gonna shut up and do my own thing. and I want to become because I had main character syndrome. I thought I was gonna be a rock star or something, and I was planning my future life. I was like, okay, I'm not gonna talk about this or this or this. Not gonna talk about my personal life, and I'm gonna have interviews where people ask me about the meaning of my songs, and I'll be like, nope, don't want to talk about that because that's personal. You know. Yeah. Why did I feel bad? Well, I gotta turn the clock back. Well, fuck. The first question is really why? What changed? Why do I want to talk about it? It's probably because I'm not doing anything today, and I didn't do anything yesterday, or the week before, or the month before, or the year before. I kinda put my life on hold 15 months ago, and I haven't really done anything since then. I made YouTube videos. What did I do? I browsed Reddit. I browsed YouTube. What did I do, bro? I went on walks quite a little bit. I got physical therapy. I talked to people online. I watched not safe for work stuff. That's about it. That's really about all I did the last 15 months, and it fucking sucks. And I was gonna just make a song tonight, try to record something, and then I went on YouTube, and here I am. It's fucking midnight, and I had started thinking, this is too sad. I feel too bad. I want to talk. I want to talk about what I'm going through, for people and for myself. This is private. Fuck me. Why is this private? No, fuck. You know what? Why is that private? Nah, I'm done. I'm done hiding. Let's put this shit on public. Is that gonna work now? Are you guys gonna see the stream? Hello, I am very sad. This is my stream. Scuffed, bro. I was just live for 5 minutes and no one saw that. Okay, so Yeah, I was just like, nah, fuck it, I'm gonna go to sleep. But I don't know how many times I can repeat that. I don't know how many times I can just go to sleep and wake up and do nothing and do it all again. I'm supposed to have like a job in September because I'm living with my parents right now. But fuck, am I gonna wait till September? Is there gonna be anything left of me in September? Like, what am I doing? You know, I need to talk to people. Fuck it. I was sad a long time ago. All right. Basically, I was happy as a kid, and then I went to a fucking concert. I blew up my ears, because it was so loud. I had earplugs at the time. Earplugs like these. All right. And really important lesson. Your ears are important. All right. You don't have to wear earplugs all the time. That was definitely something that my stance on the whole thing, the whole ears thing, completely changed after that concert, and I was freaking out. I was telling everybody I know, buy earplugs, wear them all the time at concerts. You don't have to. You know, some people, they just they can't take it. I was watching a rig rundown of Josh Klinghoffer earlier today. He's fucking madman. He goes on stage, doesn't even wear earplugs at Red Hot Chili Peppers shows. You know, he's like in front of his amps, in Chad's drums and stuff, whatever. You just need to have earplugs though. Like buy earplugs, put them in your wallet, and take them out if sounds too loud, because otherwise you might have something similar to me happen to you. I don't even know what happened with me. I think it was just kind of a shock to my body. So my body was like, okay, let's make like something to protect my ears. Hello viewer. And so I had stuck ears and a buildup of wax in it, and it hurt my eardrum, and so I started having tinnitus. And I was 14 years old, and it started being there all the time, and I started having like massive depression about it. I went online, I saw stuff about other people having tinnitus. Those people were like, it's horrible, it's ruined my life, it never stops. Hello, Edward. I'm talking about how sad I am. How are you doing? And I was like, okay, now I have tinnitus, it's never gonna stop, it's horrible, horrible, people kill themselves about it. And I was just fucking sad. And I was 14, and I was like living on the first floor, is that how you call it? Whatever. I was like a few meters up, and I didn't want to kill myself, but I just looked at the window sometimes, and I was like, maybe I should jump. And then I got it fixed. I went to the doctor. They took the wax out of my ear. Then it has stopped for about 2 weeks. That was the end of 2015, and I turned 15 years old, and I went back to high school, and we had a rehearsal room, and I had a little band and stuff I needed to do. So I played with them, and the tinnitus came back, even though this time I had earplugs. And I'm glad to meet you too. Thank you for your support. I never do stuff like this, but I just want to talk today because I feel so fucking bad. And I was sad. I started being sad from that point on, really, because I had this perfect childhood, no hiccups, loving family, no money issues, no problems. And then I was like, oh, okay, I'm 14 and my world just fucking crumbled. Like, the notion of silence doesn't exist anymore. And I'm like, how does that even happen? How did I not know about this? I thought the only bad thing that could happen if I exposed myself to loud music was that I would slowly go deaf. And that's not what happened at all. My ears are fine. I actually checked my health records. My ears are extremely good. I had my highs tested. High frequencies are amazing, but I got some hearing loss from back when I was a baby, because I used to have this shit with otitis and stuff. Whatever. I'm 15 and I'm fucking sad. All right, and then it gets worse because I kept making music, and it wasn't just the tinnitus. I started being sensitive to all noises. I don't know if I want to tell the entire story of my life, but I just don't even know where to begin if I'm gonna talk about this. So it's like, because I had those hearing problems and I was so invested in music, I in 2016 I started playing guitar like crazy, and I was so arrogant. I had ego problems. I don't know why. I wanted to overcome guitar like it was something to be conquered or something. So I um fuck I got my first good guitar, I guess you could say, like a real guitar, this uh 27 Jag, made in Japan, cost like a grand, amazing guitar, and my parents got it for me because I did really well at exams and stuff like that, and I have this immense privilege of having parents who supported me, and still do, and so they got it for me, and I started playing it like crazy over the summer of 2016, and then more and more. And when I took it back to the guitar shop for a basic setup, they I was gonna change the strings, and the guys were like, yeah, what do you want done to your guitar? And I was like, put a higher string gauge on it because I can actually bend the strings, and I would play those John Frusciante guitar solos, and it was pretty hard. I think the guy that had the guitar might have been a John Frusciante fan because he used the same exact setup as Frusciante did, gauge wise, which means the high E string was pretty buff, and I asked them to buff it up to 12s, and I had baby hands like I still do. I was fucking 15 years old, and the more I played, the more I it was hard, I just asked them to make it harder on purpose just because I could. I don't know why I did that, but I hurt my finger. Then I didn't play guitar for a year. In 2017, I was playing guitar with those three fingers. I couldn't play normally because this one just hurt from that. And so I was losing stuff. I started losing, I lost the notion of silence, and then I lost the notion of being able to enjoy music without damaging my ears. Then I lost the freedom to do whatever I wanted on guitar and use all of my fingers. You're friends with the Stranglers, and Jean-Jacques is one hell of a bassist? Nice. I'll check that out at work, definitely. But yeah, I'm gonna go back to selfishly talking about my own story. I was losing shit, and then I was writing songs like crazy. I was writing every day and recording melodies, and I had all of that on my little Samsung smartphone. And I was backing it up from time to time because I thought, what if I get robbed? What if I break my phone? What if something happens? I need this. I care about it, right? In February of 2017, I think on the 18th or something like that. I'll always remember this. I mean, it was a very beautiful time in my life. I was trying to focus on purity or whatever the fuck that meant, and it was the holiday. Yeah, tinnitus can be healed by frequencies a little bit. I mean, it's a brain thing. It's really complicated to know really where it starts and ends. And I'm fine with tinnitus now, but I'm just explaining the journey. I'm okay now. It's just other shit now. So whatever. It was the holiday, the February holiday, and when I went home on the first day of the holidays, I was 16 years old, and I was like in a really strange place in my life, and things were falling apart and building themselves up at the same time, and I saw so much meaning in everything, and there were things that I was trying to pursue, but I was scared of them. I was writing a letter to somebody, and I never fucking could send it, and I was thinking about bands that I could make and writing like a song every day or something, and just in school and performing well in school, but not giving a shit about it. I just wanted to make music, Oh God. And I meet this pianist girl, and we start jamming together with Gabby, my friend, who plays drums, and it was so cool. And I go back home one night. I listen to Omission by John Frusciante and Josh Klinghoffer, and I listen to this jam that we made with Gabby and Anna, the pianist. And I'm just like, wow, man, life is so beautiful. I want to make music as much as I can. I want to focus on purity. I still don't know what that meant to me at the time. I just wanted to be pure, feel pure things. And like the next day or something, I get up. I had to go to the doctor's, so I turn on my phone to check what time it was. The phone turns on, and for like a split second, the entire screen just goes. It becomes gay, so it just displayed a rainbow on me, and then it turned black, and my phone was fucking dead, and all the songs on it were gone, and I couldn't find them anymore. There was nothing I could do, and at first I had to go to the doctor. So I was like in the doctor's office trying to turn this shit back on. I had a charger with me or something. I was like, okay, what the fuck is going on? And then I drained the battery entirely. I tried to turn it off, turn it on again, and do anything I could, but there's nothing I could do, and I hadn't backed it up in 2 months, and some of the files that I had saved were like Samsung Note files that I couldn't open with anything else, and I've tried since, and I've given them to tech savvy friends, and none of them were able to recover anything, and they're just fucking gone forever. It was like dozens or hundreds of poems, maybe 100, maybe 200, I don't remember, and yeah, maybe a couple hundred of voice memos. And it's not even the number, it's not even that anything in it was especially meaningful to me. It's not like I had like a masterpiece on there. I don't think that now, and I didn't think that at the time. It was just like everything that I was going through with the tinnitus and friendships, and just growing up and developing that consciousness because of that shock I had been in. Every It was my coping mechanism to just take my phone and write some poetry and record some melodies or something, record a guitar solo, record anything. And I saw what I was doing as sort of a pyramid because I wanted to record stuff, but I was so stuck. So I was like, this is something I'm preserving for the future, and I'll go back to it and expand on it and record it properly and demo it and do all those things. And so I saw like my art, I guess, as a pyramid, and I was like, okay, this is the basis of it being taken off. Like everything just falls apart, and I was miserable. And at that point, I had basically lost a ton of the songs I had written. I had blown out my voice by screaming because I didn't have proper technique to sing, and I was just like, I was trying to express so much, I just didn't care or didn't know how the voice functioned. Fucked that up. I had this finger that didn't work anymore. I had my ears that were ringing constantly, and it started in the left ear, got in the right ear, and it was starting to be a bit sensitive. And I was like in hell, sort of. And yeah, I have to learn from all this, I guess, but whatever. Time continued, and I didn't really heal from this, I guess. And then it was the end of high school, and I had this choice, like, what do you want to do with your life, And I definitely wanted to be a musician, like, kind of always had, really, since I was able to think for myself, I guess, since the ending of my childhood. Thanks, Edward. Yeah, I appreciate that. But I just fell into a very deep depression that I associated with many many things, and I just couldn't get out of it, and I didn't do the right things. I didn't go to music school. I didn't pursue music at all. because I was scared. I was like, okay, my finger hurts. I can't play guitar properly. My voice hurts. My ears hurt. And that was the thing I was the most scared of. I was like, I can't go to music school. I can't even listen to anything. I was like in my room eating dinner every night because I couldn't even eat with my family. The sound of the utensils on on plates was too much. 35 years, holy shit, that's a long time. Yeah, I've been depressed for like 7 years. Almost. It's not good. I don't recommend it. But yeah, I mean, I wrote a couple good songs. Yeah, Tom fucking knows. Whatever. I don't. I fail. I make a big mistake. I don't go to music school. I go to prep school, engineering, and I sucked at that point. I sucked at math. I completely stopped working at the end of high school. I had like, I barely got my high school diploma, and I got into that. I didn't have a flat. I didn't have a place to live at first in the city I was studying in, so I was staying with my buddy who played guitar, and he's a really good friend of mine, and so we just watched Rick and Morty every night. And I didn't study for the first 3 weeks, so I was completely fucked, and my depression was just getting out of control. Everything was bad. My voice was bad. My ears were bad. I didn't play guitar at all anymore. I was isolated from everybody I ever knew. I only came home like every couple of weeks. I was 16 years old. I had a flat, and it sucked. And it was really really hard. And then I gave up. I didn't feel like I really didn't feel home in that. A couple people in my class were absolute legends. Shout out to Jules or Jules, I guess. You're a fucking amazing human being, man. But I gave up because I fucking sucked. I was the worst student in the class. Thank you, Headwork. I'm definitely hanging in there. I don't even want to. I don't even fucking know if I want to be a YouTuber, but I want to be something. That's for sure. I want to be more. All right, so I go back home. Okay, I give up because I don't like the teachers. The teachers don't like me or something like that. Nothing personal against the teachers, obviously, but it's just like as a student when you're failing, it's difficult to like seeing it. It's you're projecting your own failures onto other people because it's easier. And at this point, I turned 17 years old, and it had been like 3 years of writing songs all the time and wanting to be a musician, wanting to be a guitar player or singer or something, and just feeling like all the time like I was just about to figure it out, just about to make something work, just about to have a band together or something, and nothing. And I had nothing, and studies weren't working. Went back home and played video games for like 2 or 3 weeks, and then I had to pass some exams to continue with my studies because I was still pretending like I wanted to do that. So I got into this other prep school, and they took me in, but they were like, you should finish this first year, and I was like, no fucking way. And they were like, okay, we'll take you in September. So I had January through September to do whatever I wanted. And turns out that apparently whatever I wanted was to be on my computer like 12 hours a day or something. Maybe not quite, between 5 and 12 or something every single fucking day, to cope with what I was feeling and cope with the things that never healed. And just, I was trying or wanting to make music, but I never got there. And I got into like Minecraft and became like one of the richest Minecraft players to ever live on this green earth or something like that, something of that nature. And I just pushed all the boundaries of everything. Everything you can imagine, I pushed it. And I spent 9 months doing that. And so obviously when I got into my other yeah, YouTube is crazy. YouTube is fucking nuts. my other prep school, I instantly also failed because I was still addicted as fuck and playing Minecraft through it. And I met some amazing people there. It was a much better environment. But I eventually dropped out as well in March of 2019. And then it was like, okay, I'm still writing songs. I still really want to figure this out. And my mom was just like, well, this isn't working for you. I mean, we see you're miserable and stuff. You should go to music school. And I was just like, oh, okay, sure. I'll fucking go do that. Because I just wanted a way out. I didn't even really think about it. I was just like, oh, yeah, obviously I'll do that. You know, that's me. It sounds like me, music school. So I drop out. I go to a jam in my city. It's, I think it's a monthly thing. And yeah, it is. And the next month I go to the second jam and the singer is there and she's like, oh, you're great. You should come rehearse with my band. And so I was like, okay. I go to the rehearsal and I'm basically in the band. I mean, I was in the band from before I even set foot into that thing. I didn't really understand that, but I was. And so I have a band now, but I have no discipline. I have zero discipline. All those years developed nothing. In school developed nothing because I didn't have to. And I'm in this band and I think that it's like something that I'm actually doing, but it's not. It's just like band practice every week or so. And meanwhile, I'm playing games I was playing when I was like 10 years old. I'm playing StarCraft. You want to make music with me? Yeah, sure, man. I'll hit you up. I mean, I don't fucking know if we will do it, but I'll pretend to make music with you. It depends. We'll see you later. I'm sorry, man. I don't fucking know. So I play video games and then I go to music school and I'm instantly depressed. I set foot into the thing. It was 2019 and first day I didn't want to go. I had anxiety. It was terrible. And I'm like, whatever, over the summer I played with the band. We played a small festival. It was a really good experience, but I just felt like in music school I was back to the same old system of doing something I was defaulting to, but not really by my own choice. And at this point I had made like an EP in the studio because in the band I met this guy Jeff who had a home studio and he was the sound guy and he was amazing. He was super cool. So I had finally made something I was proud of and I was feeling like I was starting to figure it out, and I had got my hands back and my voice back a little bit, and I still wasn't like the musical prodigy I guess I would have ideally wanted to become, but I was putting zero work in, but I just stabilized myself a little bit, so I wanted to keep going with that. I wanted to record a fuck ton of things. I wanted to record all the time and get going and perform and start jamming and do stuff and whatever, tour, do something, put a proper band together for my own songs as well, because that was really important to me. And it felt like music school was killing my momentum, even though it didn't have to. I just let it be that way. And I wouldn't work on assignments. I mean, half of the classes were the easiest thing, so I wasn't interested. And the other half was not that hard, but I would need to actually work on it to really be good at it, so I was not interested either. And I watched like the entirety of whatever. I watched like half of Walking Dead in like a week. I was so depressed. I would just go home and do the same things all over again. And this time it was like YouTube, was watching maybe like 4 hours of YouTube a night and Netflix and porn and whatever. Just it's awful. And at this point I started like journaling a little more, because I really was like, okay, I'm 18, 19, like what the fuck is going on with my life? I have all this stuff I want to do. It's been years at this point. What am I doing? Who am I? What's wrong with me? And I started talking every couple weeks or every week. I would like take my phone and be like, hello, today, blah blah blah, just talking to myself. And the more I did it, the more I was like, okay, I need to be assessed by like a psychologist. I need to get help because I'm not a functional. I wasn't thinking that, but along those lines, I'm not a functional human being. I can't get what I want from this life. I have this like fucking demon inside me that makes me not get up in the morning, and I'm not going to school. Sometimes, what the fuck is going on? Yeah, Breaking Bad is amazing. I watched it like 3.5 times or something. So I'm thinking I need to shrink, I need to shrink, I need to shrink, and this was a really like bad depressive episode that lasted from like October to March 2020. And in March 2020, I started like taking a little bit of accountability. I went to the director of the school and I was like, dude, I just can't do it. I just have depression. I can't go to school. I don't know what the fuck's wrong with me. I need to like this damages my head for some reason, and I'm sorry that it's that way, but it just is that way. So I'm just gonna come to the courses where it's like band practice and stuff, and I'll do that, but I can't do the rest. I need to have time to make my own shit. I don't even know what the plan was. I just didn't want to go to school, and I couldn't take it. So I said that, and he was cool about it. He's a good guy. And there was this show we were supposed to play like sometime in April or something, and obviously, this is March 2020, so what fucking happened. Then one day I was just so depressed. I packed my guitar and my laptop here, and I went home. And I never went back. The only time I went back was to pick up everything at my apartment in like almost in June, because we couldn't leave the house by law because of COVID. And I never went back to school, and we never did the performance, and it was completely cut out. It was a thing that I was motivated by in the end a little bit. I was like, okay, I'm gonna quit school, but I'm still gonna focus on that one thing, and I wanted to perform and stuff, and cut out. And Zoom lessons Skype actually were installed, but I never joined them, just because I was like, okay, I'm finally home, maybe I can take care of myself now, maybe I can take care of my mental health. And I knew that I needed to see a psychologist, and everything was closed off, so I didn't bother looking. People really didn't even fucking know what COVID was. People thought they were gonna drop like flies if they set foot outside. It's not like psychologists were even working anymore, I think. Things opened back up in May, and suddenly I have this big ass responsibility that I'm gonna tell you guys about, but I don't fucking know in which way. Oh shit, that sucks, man. I'm sorry for your loss. In May, I had to make an album. And at this point, I'm like, I'm a fucking mess. How the fuck am I gonna make an album? I didn't make the album myself, to be honest. Gabby helped, but I don't even know what I can say about that. I always want to be, when I think about that specific instance, I want to be the bigger person, and I want to be really careful with my words. But basically, we got in a very complicated musical situation, and we had to make an album, and it was very difficult to do so. That's what I'll say. And it was a lot of pressure. It took basically the entire summer of 2020 trying to make an album that I was basically contractually obligated to do. I don't know why I handled it so poorly, but it just, I do, I needed to actually go to the shrink. I really needed to, but I just like pretended I didn't. So by the end of the summer 2020, I still have every single problem I ever had. I'm more addicted to screens than ever, and I have no self-confidence whatsoever left, especially in music, which is horrible to not have for me, because it's really what makes sense to me is making music. I was playing with my friend Kira, and she's an amazing musician, and we were recording some stuff, trying to demo stuff at the studio, and it wasn't working, and it always works. It always fucking works with her, and it wasn't working because I wasn't self-confident anymore. And then we went into the studio to record some solo stuff, which was supposed to be like 30 songs, but ended up being like 6 or 5, you know. And it was not good. It was bad because I was freaking out and I wasn't prepared enough, and there's many things that I could have done to prepare that I didn't do, and so I think that was on me. I just didn't have a really good time at the studio there. Why did my computer turn off? All that shit happened. I'm from France. I'm from the west of France, and then the east. I mean, I guess the east and west and east. I'm in the east right now, but I spent a lot of my life in the west. So I fucking leave. That's a great segue. I leave the west of France to go here in the east and into a completely different life for my dad's work. And I'm completely uprooted from what I had before. And I'm swerving, you know, and I'm pretending completely. I arrive here and I start like digging through the family computer to sort files, and I had all these hard drives, this entire case of hard drives. I started just making sure, deleting duplicates of photos and making sure everything was copied nice and clean and saved and backed up. And I do that for like 3 weeks or 2. I don't get out. I don't try to meet new people. I don't start a project, an activity. I just do this all day. But I kind of pretend to do it because I also just like, I watch videos by Minecraft Dream. You guys know Dream? And then I have a mental breakdown. I have a proper mental breakdown where everything kind of comes back, you know. I don't get up one morning and my mom is yelling at me because I'm not getting up, and I'm not saying why, and I don't have a reason, and I'm just being a complete larvae. And I get into the shower and I scream my fucking brains out because, you know, I get up and I'm crying. All right, I go into the shower, I'm still crying, and then I'm crying, but I can't stop, and I can't stop myself, and all the fucking thoughts of all the shit I said, and obviously all the shit I didn't say, because, you know, what's the story of a life? It's just 1,000 stories, right? It just starts fucking with me in a major way, and I'm screaming, and I don't know how long it lasted because I was forgetting what was happening as it was happening. What is non-duality? Can you explain that in the chat real quick? I don't know what non-duality is. So, I mean, it was a freaky experience for me and my family, I guess, and I had to say, I'm okay, you know, I didn't slit my wrists, I'm fine, I'm just really sad, and I'm in the shower crying, and I stay for like an hour, and then I get up and I'm like, okay, I'm gonna change my life now, and this is, I'll tell you when that was, I don't remember, I think it was the 18th of September. Yeah, there you fucking go. Day of mental breakdown, 28th of September 2020. Today I had a mental breakdown. I woke up crying, stopped so mom wouldn't see, got in the shower, just kept going louder and louder. Beginnings of small weeps and sobs. My thought was, fuck, be quiet, but now is the time to get help. Fuck, I don't feel a thing listening to music. What did I say there? Starlight. Oh, I was listening to Starlight. That's amazing, actually. What's that? Relations. I mean, fuck, what's bound to happen? 6 months of pushing it aside. I came home to get help, driving myself home, pushing myself off the edge. Sorry, this is my own fucking lyrics. What am I saying? What? I don't care, you know, but 28th September 2020. So I went to a shrink once. And then I didn't go until September, and things continued to fall apart. I was cleaned from a couple things I was doing that I fucking hated, like porn, and then I relapsed in October, I think. In November, I was working like I've never worked in my life, but also just completely being addicted to screens again. But I worked on this big project, right? The Orla Gartland pretending video. If you guys haven't seen that, I'm gonna put it in the chat here for the entire whole 5 viewers we have. That's actually the most viewers I've ever probably had. And thank you so much for being here, genuinely. But I was working, but I burnt myself out because I had no business working there. I just needed to relax because I was really being extremely harsh on myself. I wasn't accepting that any of the issues I was suffering from were really like just actual real shit. Like depression is real, anxiety is real. Those are real ailments, and it's not all on you. It's just fucking not. And I was 19, and I thought I was a god or something that had the power to decide of everything and have no external consequence apply to me, which is bullshit. You know, you are plenty of things that aren't you, or your free will. You are your environment. You are the shit that happens to you against your will, and I just wasn't. I wasn't willing to give anything up. I was thinking in my head, this is all me. This is all because I was weak and whatever. I don't know how to explain it, to be honest. I don't know what exactly happened. I just was extremely tired, and I decided to start working more and more. I wanted to be a YouTuber. I wanted to make covers on YouTube. So I make this really, really big video. Okay, a bunch of guitar tracks going on. There's a symphony in there. There's plenty of key changes that I have to get flowing. I have to sing, and at this point I really fucked up my voice in the studio, and from the stress over the summer of that album I didn't want to make, and I wasn't warming up, and I didn't even say, but when I went into the studio for my own shit, I couldn't even sing. I had to cancel the finish of the album because I couldn't sing, and I had to sing on it, and I was fine. But so it's December 2020, and I'm like, okay, I want to become the best guitar player the world's ever seen, or some cringe variation of that, right? I see a TikTok. This French guy's like, quit social media for 6 months and start, getting buffed, and read every day and work on your projects. And I was like, oh shit, whatever, it won't hurt not being on YouTube for 6 months, or Instagram, or any of that shitty ass stuff, and I'll quit everything. I'll quit every single form of social media, and I'll quit porn, and I'll play 1,000 hours of guitar, because I thought that was an appropriate thing to shoot for. So I started building up, because I was playing maybe 10, 20, 30 minutes a day at the time, something like that. So I'm like, okay, I need to play 6 hours a day, all right? So I start playing, and I add, on the 7th of December, I add 18 minutes every day. So 7th, 18 minutes, 8th, 36. And by the end of December, I was playing 7 hours a day. And in 3 weeks, I was fucked. In 3 weeks, my wrist was fucked up. And I basically get some variation of carpal tunnel in 3 weeks. And it's not exactly carpal tunnel. It's some kind of, soft tissue injury that basically started in my wrist and spread to a bunch of parts of my body. And it was stemming from a lot of different things, like tension in my neck and bad posture. And, it's a lot of different things, which I had no idea about at the time, but it's fucking crazy. I mean, the pain started, I kept playing for 1 day, and it's been 15 months, and I still have pain. I still have issues. It's much, much better. I've done a ton of things. I've done stretches. I've done postural exercises, physical therapy. I've taken medication. I've had bandages. I've had, how do you call that? No, not splinters. I don't care. I did a bunch of shit, but basically, yeah, at 19 years old, I fucked my arm up pretty good. But in doing something that I thought was going to save my life, basically, and save myself from all the bullshit I was doing, but ended up just damaging things further. sending a link in the chat. That's the link to one of the videos I was working around that time. The video that was fucking crazy and hard to make. So I was like, okay, I can't play 6 hours of guitar a day anymore, so I don't have anything to do really. So I'm like, okay, guess I'll go back to using my computer all day like I've been doing for the past 3 years. So I did that. Spent the entirety of last year on my computer, trying to heal physically, but just also being on the computer, which is terrible for everything. I mean, it's bad for my healing process because I was like using the keyboard, using the mouse, and it's an everyday thing. So you guys, a lot of you probably don't even understand how you could damage yourself with a computer. But basically, when you have a soft tissue injury already, like you're so tense, everything hurts, everything is bad. Like nothing works anymore the way it did, and I wasn't aware enough that I was that addicted that I would push through pain just to distract myself. And a lot of shit happened last year. That's when I started closing up really, and I never considered really talking anymore. I was just like, okay, now what I need to do in life is like heal. Hi there. Heal my body, and then I'll make whatever music I want to make, but I won't ever talk to people anymore because I was so damaged and scared and not willing to accept myself. I was like, okay, I'll just have a band or something and maybe a side job, because at this point I was like so scared of music because I had seen like how difficult it was to navigate, and how the pressure of it I definitely couldn't take at all, and how injuries do happen, and they happen all the time. And I was so young, but I was still injured, and it was not healing good, and nobody could really tell me what it was. And people just like, the science on soft tissues is it's so bad, bro. Like there's a few people who really know, I guess, but the typical doctor is just going to tell you to take some painkillers and wait it out, which you shouldn't do. You should still move when you have soft tissue injuries. You should reduce significantly what you're doing, not because it's an overuse injury. You need to not use it. But after the inflammation is over, you need to move. Otherwise, you lose function, you lose range of motion and movement. And I didn't do that. I stopped. Even when I was told to pick the guitar back up again because it hurt a little bit, I was so scared I didn't really do it. And it was months before I really did anything again. And meanwhile, I could have sung, I could have done anything, I could have written a book with my voice, I could have done anything, but I just stayed miserable because I couldn't do that other thing I had been doing, which was playing guitar. I was always looking at it that way, through that lens of, because I can't do things perfectly, everything sucks. And I was always that big, perfectionist. And it didn't get better. It didn't get better. It started kind of getting better in August, and I started like doing things that made the chronic pain better. And then I was addicted to porn, and it was probably the worst of my addictions. And I was like, okay, I'm gonna stop that. I'm gonna kick that. And in September I started like NoFap, and then in fucking November I relapsed, and it was awful, bro. It was so bad. And so I was so ashamed that in December I just spent all day, every day, on screens. Basically, killing myself. I wasn't suicidal, and I wasn't doing it on purpose to die, but I was just rejecting every good thing I could ever have. I was rejecting my creativity, my perspectives of having any future. I wasn't looking into jobs. I wasn't looking into healing, because being on the computer is bad for me if I do it all day. But I was just doing it still. And then I went to my grandparents for Christmas. And the travel traveling there in the car was really bad. I was very sad, and I got there and I said hello and whatever, and we ate and I went to sleep with my phone. Thank you, head work. I'm not that smart, but thank you. And I was browsing Reddit, which I often do, and it was like 11:30, and I'm like this in bed with my glasses off and just scrolling and scrolling and scrolling endlessly for maybe an hour, and my left eye just goes like bloop, bloop. My left eye just gave up basically, and I shouldn't have done that. I couldn't focus my left eye anymore, but I didn't really think much of it. I still went on doing my bullshit, right? And then every morning, I was taking anti-allergy medication as well, which wasn't helping, but I didn't know yet. Every morning, my eye kind of, it didn't want to wake up, you know? It was like, ugh, and I had to wait like half an hour for it to really work. And I kept using screens all the time. And it was bad. And then my grandma fell in the garden, and she was fine, but she hurt her foot a little bit, so she couldn't do as much stuff, and so they decided to leave the house and go to their apartment. You know, rich people shit, I guess. They're not rich, but it's just I get self-conscious anytime I talk about like people in my family having two residences, because that's rare, right? It's not even me. Like I have no say in it. I didn't fucking choose to be born in that shit. I'm not my grandparents, but I still get weirded out about it, which is that's just my anxiety. And we get to the flat, right? And the flat is fucking disgusting. And because they just weren't there for a long time, and you know, if you leave a place, dust builds up and mites live in whatever shit is left, and I'm allergic to basically all of that. Macron, I don't talk about politics on this channel yet. If Macron does something horrible, I'll definitely talk about it, but it's just not worth it, bro. What are my views on Macron? I'm gonna vote for probably the ecologist is what I'll say. I don't fucking know yet. I get to the apartment, and the apartment is disgusting, and my eyes, I'm just all day still on screens, even though I know they're getting tired. My eyes, I can feel it, and it's been years of me knowing I gotta be careful. I'm so addicted. I'm using my eyes all the time. Basically, I got fucking raw dogged and gangbanged by all the shit that was going on. Like there were the anti-allergy medication, which are antihistamines that dry out your eyes. There was the fact that I was like watching TV with my grandparents every night, and also being on the computer, so I was alternating like this all the time, doing shit like this. I'm allergic to the mites at the apartment, and just the eye strain, you know, the absolute eye strain. My left eye started feeling fucking crazy. What happened exactly? I had stinging, I had burning, aching, feeling like my eye was being pulled apart, big light sensitivity, all the bad shit you can ever imagine, like suddenly, and I just freaked out. I freaked out, and I wasn't there anymore. I was just like putting I was putting eye drops in after that, because I went to the fucking hospital and shit. I was freaking out so much, and they just gave me eye drops, and I wasn't myself anymore. You know, I was just trying to fix my eye, and I was so mad at myself for having this happen to me, and this lasted through basically the entirety of January, which is fucking crazy. You know, guys, you only get 1,000 months in your life. You know, just a little bit of a brain fuck. Only 1,000 months. And I fucked up an entire month, 1,000th of my life. Thank you for the support, guys. I appreciate it. Just caring about my dry eyes. And I was like, what if this never goes back? And insane anxiety. I was crying all the time. I was a mess. And it was like, my grandparents, they're gonna fucking die, you know? My grandparent has, I don't want this to be a pity thing, but he has Alzheimer's, and realistically he's gonna die. So I spent an entire month with them. I helped them quite a bit with groceries and whatnot, and tech stuff, but It could have been so much better, but I was depressed. I was just like out of it for half of it. And I was honest about it with them. I was like, I'm so sorry. I wish I could be more present, but I just I'm just fucked a little bit. I'm fucked in the head, and I went back home, and I was like, for an entire week or 10 days, I was just hiking and walking, laying on my bed all day, putting eye drops in, and I wasn't living. I wasn't myself. I was in limbo. I was just a robot. My only purpose in life was to put eye drops in my eyes. I didn't care about anything anymore. I was like, I don't even care about the chronic pain in my arms. I don't even care about goddamn anything. I just want to fix my eye, and then I'll take whatever money I have. I'll go to the United States, work, do any fucking job I can, and go to this physical therapy center that specializes in soft tissue injuries and get fixed up, and then I'll become like a guitar player and work a shitty job or something because I don't care anymore, right? And I was just focused on the eye and this fake belief that fixing that one thing will further my life in any way. Like anxiety isn't just gonna put something else in my focus, but I also knew that I had to, whatever happens, even if I didn't heal, to live that way and make my music shit and do whatever, because it's too stupid. I mean, everybody dies. I know too much. I've thought about this shit too long. Like, I just know that worrying or thinking back or regretting or thinking there's a specific thing that ruined your life and now you can't get it back and there's nothing you can do about it, and just wanting to go back all the time, it's just completely toxic. Don't go to the States. Yeah, I mean, I get that a lot, but I don't fucking care anymore. So I knew I was fooling myself, but I just really wanted to get my eyes back, and I did. I went skiing, and I regretted having skied, which is first world problems because I hurt my knee a little bit, and then that was the focus of my anxiety, so I wasn't really thinking about my eyes anymore. So when the dry eyes got better, I started obviously being on the computer again all the time, even despite telling my friends, okay guys, this is it, now I'm gonna change my life. We can contact. I have an email in the description. I'll write it here if you want. I'll change my life, and I'm not. Fuck, what is that? It's not working. I'll tell you later. Check out the description of the channel. My address is there. I basically told my friends I was gonna go on a meditation reclusive thing for like a month without a phone and be completely away from people, and when I was gonna heal my eyes 100%, I was still not gonna use my computer for a month. And then I basically, even though I had dry eyes, I started being on the computer again, and a couple of days ago, maybe a week ago, I started feeling the symptoms again, and I looked into the mirror, and I think, maybe, possibly, there are some new veins in my eye. And they are fucking with me so much. And this is basically why I'm doing this, because I'm at a point in my life where I'm a 21-year-old man, alright? I'm a grown-ass man. And I'm here being completely devastated. I'm here at 1 a.m. doing a YouTube live stream because I can't cope with the fact that I see some irritation in my eye. That might have been there forever, and I don't know, maybe I'm just noticing it now, maybe I just care more, maybe I'm just associating it with all the bad shit I've done, and I'm thinking it's definitely my fault, but I just see this vein, and I'm thinking, oh shit, I didn't notice that 3 weeks ago. Maybe it could have never been there. Maybe if I just had done the right thing, I would have been completely fine, and this would have never been there, and I would have been able to cure my eyes completely and turn my life around. Like, it's not completely idiotic to focus on single little things like that. And I just it's just me. Like, I'm also stuck in this paradox of like, do I have any choice in this? Like when I started getting better with the eyes, and then I kind of relapsed, right? I kind of got into being anxious again. I had taken control of my life because basically when I came back from skiing, I was so goddamn neurotic. I was thinking wrong thoughts about myself all the time, and I was like, this is fucking crazy. I mean, you're not gonna ruin your life over dry eyes. This is just fucking nutty. Yeah, my brain is my asset, definitely. And so I started doing shit. I started taking my journal and doing stuff, like actually doing stuff and steering, driving myself, like being the actual author of my actions instead of just a little sufferer gliding away, just wasting my fucking life, right? And then I had this thing with my knee and whatever, some other insane shit with I saw a little tiny hole in my gum. Actually, my mom saw it, and then I started freaking out about it because gums don't grow back. And I was like, oh shit, I'm such a piece of shit. I didn't brush my teeth properly or whatever. I can never get this back. And it just fucked with me so much. Like this heavy depression that isn't at all about a gum problem. It's just everything I've lived through in my life and failed to properly heal and express with therapy or human connection because I'm so isolated. I don't see anybody. It embodies those things, and then I crash. Right? Yeah, I could be blind. I don't even. Where was I going? What was I talking about? You know, it's ridiculous, is my point. My eyes, my gums, my knees. Who gives a shit? Everybody. I said that everybody dies. Your body ages all the time. It doesn't have to be something you obsess over. It's difficult to accept for a lot of people, but it's just the truth of life. You only get one shot, and it's what it is. You're here to experience stuff as well, right? So in a way, everybody's experience can be somewhat equal. You don't even have to have the best setting around you, the most money, the most bitches. You don't have to have that. If you're able to like meditate yourself to peace, you can be happy anywhere. So it's not about my eyes, it's not about my body, it's not about chronic pain. All those things, for me at least, I think are definitely, I can live with them, but I just focus on them. And yeah, I found what I was gonna say. My paradox became like, is this real? Like, am I having a real problem, or am I just weak? Is it all about me not doing the right things? Or are there explanations for this? Can I give myself any credit? Can I give myself any leeway? Is it even worth thinking about any of that? Is all that time I wasted, was it definitely up to me, or are there other forces at work? Because it's crushing if it's just me in there. It's crushing to say, yeah, I'm 21 and I did that. I spent the last 4 years wasting my fucking life. But no, I didn't, because I didn't know. I had a creeping suspicion that something bad was gonna happen, which is basically now is pretty bad. I don't like my life at all. But I didn't know better. You know, I was a fucking kid. I was basically 14 when I started swerving, and that wasn't my fault then. So where does it start? But it also has to be my fault at some point, because I have to take responsibility and try to have the life I want to have. So I just basically drive myself crazy thinking about shit like that. And I know at the end of the day it's not useful. I know at the end of the day I know exactly what I fucking need to do. Alright? Like, guys, I know what to fucking do. I know I need to keep talking for maybe half an hour. Now, and then I end stream. I go to sleep. Next morning I wake up, clean my room a little bit. Right, okay, what am I gonna do today? Put in the eye drops, maybe go for a little walk, play a little bit of guitar, try to sing a couple of scales, and go through the day like that, and repeat that, and then die. You know? Just do soul searching and do whatever the fuck you want to do. Connect with people, have sex, have long conversations, do psilocybin, tour the world a little bit, and die. And make dope ass music, make records. What the fuck is it like? What am I gonna sit there swinging my dick around for? Why think? I don't have to. I know what to fucking do, and I just don't do it. I'm just here like, okay, so where did it go wrong exactly? Was it that little part? Was it that little thing? Was it that day? Oh, was it that vein in my eye? Oh, if I could trace it back to the day when, my dry eyes really got better and then they really got worse because of that specific little weakness. If I could just fix that, if I could just go back to that, yeah, that's definitely what's wrong with me. That's definitely where it all fucked up. So I'm gonna be sad about that thing that happened 2 weeks ago, and then life is gonna give me another thing to be sad about. So what the fuck was the point of that? Hello. And it's so ridiculous, right? It's I know, I honestly, I fucking know better, but I have no system to hold myself accountable. I have nobody waiting for me. It's just me. I mean, I'm here with my parents. They're like, 2 years ago, they basically said, okay, be a musician, do your fucking thing. You can live there and we'll give you a little bit of money every month, like $100, so you can pay for Spotify and your phone plan and hookers and blow. And do your fucking thing. And in 2 years you got to make money though, because you're not just gonna live off of us. And I said, all right. And now, over the course of those 2 years, it's just been me. I mean, I cut out my friends. I cut out external influence. When people try to tell me stuff, I just ignore it or just forget about it. They're like, okay, you need your driver's license. Oh yeah, I'm gonna talk to a professional. I'm actually, I failed to mention that, but I'm going to therapy. I'm going on what day are we? I'm going on Tuesday, and I go more regularly now, and I'm going to be all right, but I just need to fucking vent. The therapy is actually fucking amazing too, which is really crushing, because the day I relapsed, right before that I had a really good therapy session, and I was high on it. I was like, fuck, I can fix my life. And then the pressure got to me and I crashed hard. So I have nothing holding me accountable. I mean, I make YouTube videos, right? But I don't have a schedule. I don't have anything you guys are expecting from me. These days, I'm literally just trying to get views, to test out like business models and just train my English, because it's not my first language. Train my listening, because I'm not, like, I'm a composer, but I'm 21. I suck at this shit. I'm more of a musician. I don't have the greatest ear. I'm just trying to copy like Key of Gibbs' channel, because I'm a young composer, and it's funny to be like, oh, there's an old composer. I'm the young composer. It's funny to me, and it was really easy to do that last year when I couldn't play guitar, right? I should be a royal asshole. I never really am, but maybe I should. Fuck, what the fuck was I saying? Yeah, I have nothing holding me accountable. I have no discipline, I have no schedule, I have no plans, because all my plans fell down the fucking drain. Because, okay, I couldn't sing anymore, I couldn't play guitar anymore, according to me at least, because I wanted to do it so perfectly that I wasn't satisfied with whatever I was putting out. I think I have like, order of magnitude is 10,000. I have 10,000 recordings, alright? They're on hard drives, they're on this computer, they're on this computer, they're on this phone. It's like demos, it's humming, it's like drum beats. Half of this shit, I'll never figure it out what the fuck it meant in context, because I didn't have a proper notation system. I don't know music theory. The thousands of hours I've spent online, I never bothered to fucking learn. So I'm just like, I have a huge amount of shit to do. I have maybe like 50 albums ready or something like that, honestly. Like, if I dig through this stuff, I can probably put out 50 albums this year. Like, I'm not even fucking kidding with you. I'm not saying they're gonna be good, but they're there. I have the material, and it's not about them being good or not. It's just, this is literally what I want to do with my life, and I don't do it. I don't even take steps towards doing it. I just gave up, basically, because it's not good enough for me. And I torture the fuck out of myself. I'm my worst enemy, you know? So yeah, I gave up. I stopped living my life, and now I'm just watching myself get older. And I'm not old, but that's still exactly basically what I'm doing. I'm monitoring my body on a day-to-day basis, because that's the way I learned to be conscious. Basically, I got traumatized at 14 years old when I noticed that, holy shit, life isn't what I think it was. Everything can change from one day to the other, and your body just gives up on you sometimes. And basically, at that point in my life, that's what I learned. Be very careful about your body. And then I was monitoring my ears all the time. And also, you don't have to try anything, because I was good at school and I started getting into music, and everybody was like paying me compliments. I couldn't figure out why. It was just because I have the insane, chance and privilege to have been doing it since I was 7 years old, and I never worked on it, but just the sheer amount of time invested in it made me good when I started putting any kind of effort in. And so that was me in 2015. Be depressed and monitor your body, and also you don't have to try anything or have any discipline. And I just carried that out throughout 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, and now I'm 21 years old. And it fucking sucks, and it's fucking terrible. And there's so many amazing things in my life that I haven't even mentioned, because they're completely drowned out by my own projections and anxieties and depression. And the opportunity that I have is incredible, and the people I know, the shit I envision, like, could propel me so hard and give me so much will and life, and I could do so much. I know I could, because I have. Like, whenever I was actually trying, I really did well, I recorded albums over weekends and stuff like that, and I blew my own mind. Not because it was good, just because it was something, and I had no proof before. I didn't know if I could do anything, and turns out I really fucking can. And I That's how it is. I'll send you songs. I mean, the problem is I trust myself a lot, and so I have trouble opening up at work. But you know what? I mean, I'll send you a song. You can do whatever you want to it. It doesn't mean, it doesn't have to become anything. I'll send you a song, sure. I don't really know what else to say. I mean, I'm very sad because of all the reasons I mentioned. And when I started having problems with my eyes, I really thought that was a new level, because your brain and your eyes are your gateway to reality. They're the way you interact with the universe, and especially in the time of computers, of augmented reality and all that stuff. I was just like, okay, now I can't even use a computer anymore without thinking about it. Fuck, that's big. I need to change something, and I wanted to make a video to talk about this with you guys, with this YouTube channel, and be like, this was the biggest scare in my life, and it was awful, but I healed from it, and here's what I learned, and take your depression seriously, and go to therapy if you can afford it, and shit like that. And regrets are a complete bullshit fallacy, and never fall into them, because I basically did that shit because I was disappointed in myself, and I hated myself for being basically addicted to heroin. I mean, I was addicted to porn, so I hated myself, when porn is literally as addictive as crack heroin. They researched it. That's basically what the science says, alright? I know it sounds fucking crazy, but I think it's true, and it's readily available for anybody out there, and kids start watching that shit at 10, start watching it at 13, which is late now. It's considered late, which is fucking crazy. but I couldn't give myself a break. I was just like, no, you fucking suck. You just suck. So I wanted to turn this into a good experience, but I started becoming really controlling again and perfectionistic, and I was like, I want to control this. I want to say whatever I want to say and package it nicely into a little video that could go viral or something, or just really well edited. And then I didn't do anything, obviously, because things got worse again. And so tonight I'm like, I had two options: just go to sleep miserable and have thoughts in my head for hours on end, or try to reach out to someone, you know. Honestly, Ploist, I'm not, double check the shit I say about porn, because that stuff is very recent. I mean, it's really like in the last 10 years that internet porn has become a thing and exploded, and like that's even apparent in the porn itself, in like how different it was like 20 years ago. They're just trying to make it as addictive as possible, I guess. It might not be. It's very difficult to gauge it, right? But what does as addictive as heroin mean? Like, what the fuck does that mean? Usually you do heroin once and you're hooked. It's not necessarily the same way with porn, but it's a huge problem for a lot of men, and I just happen to really underestimate it. And yeah, I'm gonna give you some good news, guys, because that's what we do here. We're all about positivity. I've been clean for 87 days almost, basically. I've been on no fap actually for 86 days and then some. And I actually did that. And I basically lived through the worst parts of my life, but staying true to the no fap lifestyle, I guess, which is something. When I was having dry eye and shit and all that stuff, I was on nofap, and I still am. So that's amazing. And I want you to know, the biggest, with everything I said, with all the problems with me, with my brain I have brain damage basically from this stuff. I don't know how much, and it's not like a doctor told me, but I just, depression and sleep deprivation and addiction and repetitive patterns, they're associated with low-level brain damage. And it doesn't really mean anything, because at this point everybody has that, because COVID also does that. So everybody that's getting COVID is having low-level brain damage. It's not bad, like I'm not impaired by it in a significant way, but I do have it, it's for sure. And I have, it's social isolation. I don't have an income, I don't have plans, I don't know where my life is going. I have all those big, like almost philosophical, like meaning problems, all those issues. I can't even drive a fucking car. But the biggest problem in my life, to the neurotic part of my brain, is this small, tiny little vein that, this is gonna be gross, but I don't think you can even fucking see it. I'm actually positive you will not be able to see it. Oh shit. Okay, I guess we're doing this. So right there, in the white, in the upper, shit, this looks insane. In the upper parts are a couple of veins that have been there a while, and near one of them is a vein that's like as wide as a piece of hair, and it's blackish, reddish. It's so fucking minuscule, and for some reason it just triggers the fuck out of me, because even a couple weeks ago, when my eyes were, basically I couldn't use my eyes, I wasn't going on screens, I was completely addicted to screens, and I wasn't doing them. At some point I had a migraine for like 12 days, and I didn't go on screens for like a month. Like, this was a serious thing, I think I didn't go on the computer at all at some point for like 2 or 3 weeks. After I was at my grandparents, I got back home, and this PC basically, in December, that was what I was doing all day, and I didn't even turn it on for the first 3 days. through that time when my eyes were at their absolute worst, no new veins were appearing, and now kind of since the eye dryness has been setting back in, I see this tiny new little fucking shit. And I hadn't noticed it before, but you know, chances are it fucking was there. Maybe it was not as wide or something. And now I'm obsessing about it. I'm like, oh, this is the problem. This is what's wrong with me now. Complete bullshit, right? Just a complete lie. And a terrible disservice to the entire universe. I mean, there's literally a war in Europe right now, and who cares where it is, really? There's always war everywhere. There's always something horrible happening in Africa and everywhere. You know, there's people who have it way fucking worse than I do. Every one of them would kill to be me, technically. And they actually do, and I'm here freaking out about my eye. Like, I'm crazy. Yeah, I'm a little bit cracked. It's not rational behavior, and I know it's not, and I'm able to recognize it. So I have this duality to myself, which is actually typical and should be common among people who are, like, I guess, mentally ill. Because when you have depression, when you have anxiety, it's really important to be able to notice, hey, this isn't actually really me. This isn't like what I'm usually like. This isn't something I really believe. When the thought pops up in my head, oh, I hate myself. No, you don't. You know, it's just something, it's literally a disease. And so it's not at all true that now my life is fucked, right? The only thing you should really, one of the things you could think when a problem happens is like, okay, is this gonna prevent you from having a good life? And if the answer is no, then don't kill yourself, you know? Don't regret. Don't be there in the past thinking about shit that doesn't matter at all. And I failed to do all of that. I just progressively became softer and softer and more sensible to issues that aren't real issues. And it's really fucking sad, and I just wanted to talk about it. And I'm getting therapy, and I'm a much stronger person than I've ever been. And to be honest, there was a sandstorm in the Sahara last week. So, you know, dust and sand came up on a big part of Europe, including my place, and maybe this is literally just that. Maybe it's why my eyes are worse this week. But I can't fool myself and think that this specific video is going to do anything. I hope it does something for you, but it won't do something for me, because for the longest time I've thought like there's gonna be a day when I'm gonna turn everything around and I'm gonna be able to be the man I wanted to be and do this and that, and I will record a song and drink a glass of orange juice and go for a run or something, and it's just not true. And everything will be okay. No, like, take baby steps. This life is a weird thing. It's okay. Like, relax. Bust a nut or something, if that's something that works for you, that you're not prone to getting addicted to. Definitely not an option for me today, but you know, this is just a crazy fucking life. And you don't have to be perfect, which is something I understood when I lost all of those songs when I was 16. When you die, there is probably no judging your damage, you know? You don't need to never have been sad. You don't need to have carefully saved every song of yours. You don't need to have all of your hearing or all of your teeth. You don't need to have a perfect body. In fact, it's kind of sad if you do. You just need to manage what you have across your life so that you have what you need when you need it. Nobody can be free from damage. Everybody is living in this fucked up place at the end of the day, and some more than others, but everybody has their worst thing that has ever happened to them, and that's how they view themselves. That's how they constantly engage with reality, is by the power of contrast all of the time. That's true for everybody. So because some damage has happened to you doesn't mean you're ruined. Because some damage has happened to you doesn't mean you can't ever go back to a happy life, and things might never be the same again. In fact, they never fucking will. But you might be happy at some point, or you might be at peace. You might be fulfilled, and people actually get less neurotic as they age too. You just get accustomed to the idea that it's not as crazy as it seems. It just is. That's how things are, and you're just here to experience and take things in, and if you want to be a good person, well, hopefully be as good as you can be, and that's literally all you can do. You can try the best you can. You can try the best you can. The best you can is good enough. Radiohead, right? It's true. It's literally all there is for you to do. There's no deeper meaning other than that meaning. So it will never be part of my job to go back and fix my past. It will never be part of what I actually have to do to go back and try to figure out exactly where things went wrong, because I've been over it so many times, and I know that it's not about a single thing that happened. It's about the momentum of my life. And in the past, I've had many things going through my head that I thought were the worst thing. And I thought, oh, if I could only fix this one thing. And now, none of those things I care about. When I started having those terrible symptoms in my eye, I legit thought I was going to lose a part of my eyesight. I thought there was a very slim chance that I would actually go blind or something. I had a migraine for 2 weeks because of my eyes. Like, I could just feel it, and it would hurt and pull and shit. And I didn't even get help for it. Thanks. I didn't get help for it, and I was like, I don't care about my knee pain anymore. I don't care about my chronic pain in my arms. I don't care about this one song I lost, or this one relationship that fell apart, or this one thing I missed, this one goal I failed at. I cared for nothing but my eyes, and I simultaneously understood that one day would come something that would make me not care about my eyes in the same way. So everything is fake. All the negative shit you feel, at the end of the day, you're curating it. You're deciding, in a way, what the worst thing is, and if you focus on it or not. That's the eternal question. Are you really deciding, or are you just a piece of meat that's going through the universe, and you have no free will? But maybe you get to choose how you actually want to look at it. I know this isn't about my eyes. I know it's about momentum, and I know there's not a single thing I'll do that will fix everything. I know that it's about creating systems for myself, not specific goals, because I suck at that. Obviously you get goals to get the system going, but it's mostly about systems. It's about drive. It's about discipline, For me right now, at least, it is. And at the end of the day, you're a fucking brain, alright? What you are, what you think you are, consciousness is just a bunch of electrical signals in your brain that is water and carbon and blood and energy, and no one even fucking knows how it works. No one knows what consciousness is. You can't know. You can't know how different you are from your dog. You don't know how to measure that stuff. And there's motherfuckers in a wheelchair that are much happier than me. Much, much happier than me. There definitely are, right? So it's not... I'm not sad because I have dry eyes. I'm just not. It's just a lie I tell myself to destroy myself. In a way, I mean, you always have to be careful with those kind of arguments because, you know, things are real. Things are fucking real, and physical pain just fucking sucks, but that's the kind of conversation I could have with myself because I've been wasting away for weeks for this stuff that objectively doesn't really matter. And yeah, in the process, I'm not only letting myself down, I'm letting down nearly 8 billion people on this earth, which lives could, in a very small way, probably, I recognize, but maybe a more sizable way if I could become like who I really want to be, a tiny little bit better because of me. I could definitely make my family's life better. I could make my friend's life a bit better. Not a lot, you know. I'm only a man, but and I could make my own life a fuck ton better. And I just it would just be so sad if I didn't do that because my eye scratches, wouldn't it? Worse even is the fact that I don't like I don't really care that my eye scratches. I literally care about a new vein in it. So I can't be like this. And maybe this is a very stupid self-serving thing because maybe in a month I'm worse. Maybe in a year I have failed in ways I can't even imagine, and I'm in so much pain. And I watch that back, and I'm like, how could I be so pretentious as to publicly state what makes me sad? Now look at me. But I don't give a shit. I mean, I do. I give a shit. I care way too much. This is a little something. Like what I started playing was something I played at my grandparents' house when I got this guitar. I had a friend in high school that would write those insanely beautiful songs, and people fucking hate Imagine Dragons, don't they? And I don't listen to them much. I never really like it when there's a bandwagon of hate. I guess, which is definitely part of my insecurity because I got so I just didn't like who I was enough to be secure enough about not liking things. That's a bit convoluted, but yeah. And so I became like, okay, I want to be the guy that likes everything, or at least that doesn't hate anything. But whatever. We were singing this song by Imagine Dragons, Demons, right? And that's kind of how I fucked up my voice in like April 2016, May, screaming on top of my lungs with this guy. Amazing. Great guy. His name is Theo. And he wrote those songs in French and English, and he's this beautiful, beautiful guitar player, really inspired me a lot. And it was in summer of 2016, I was just thinking about him and thinking about this album that he said he had been working on. And we were like 15 years old, you know, it was so funny. We were both like working on albums that never came out at that time. And I just shot him a message at 4 a.m. after like just playing in my bed on this unplugged guitar. And I was like, man, the meaning of my life is to make music. And I really want to make music with you. Can you please have me on the album? And he said, absolutely. And it never happened. But he never made the album either, so maybe I'll be on it. I just wanted to reminisce about that. Because that's really one of the first things I played with this guitar. I don't know how I feel about having done this. I mean, at the end of the day, it's what it is. But I can just say, like, I really appreciate the two people still watching and everybody that ever came by and everybody who's watching the stream now once it's over. And fuck, I don't want you to be sad about me because I'm doing that already, alright? And I don't want to promise anything, alright? I don't fucking know what's to come, but I know what to do, so you don't have to, you know. I don't even fucking want advice, you know. Give it if you want to, but as I said, I know what to do and I know what's wrong with me, and I'm very self-aware and I'm getting therapy and shit. I literally just need to do stuff, and nobody but me is gonna get me to do that. Thanks, Sean. Yeah, self-deprecation is shit. There might be a bit of delay on the stream. I don't know when you're gonna hear this, but self-deprecation is shit. I know I could relapse at any time. I mean, I'm basically relapsing today, right? Yeah, it's hard for everybody, I guess. But what I wanted to say is, I can definitely be all right. I guess time will tell. But what I want you guys to take in is what I'm saying. I want you to understand a couple of things about your ears. I want you to understand about soft tissue injuries. Just you're probably safe, you know. Honestly, you're probably fine. But just don't push yourself like crazy. Don't like go from 30 minutes of guitar a day to 6 hours. That's fucking nutty. Don't do that. Don't torture yourself. Don't beat yourself up. And definitely go to therapy if you can afford it. Or if you can't, find a friend, find a relative, someone you can really trust, and just open up to them, because for the longest time I really fooled myself. I really told myself I would get help and just didn't. And over again, I simultaneously, I forgot about it. I think I might have, it's not diagnosed, and it could be just the symptoms of depression and anxiety, but I basically have all the symptoms of ADHD. So I literally just forget about shit sometimes. Like, I forget about my driver's license for weeks on end. I forget it's even a thing, and so I just don't do it. But get help, yeah, and just don't obsess about your body, but don't do things that increase your risk of injury by like 1,000 without very thorough consideration. Just treat your mental health like seriously, because as I said, you're just your brain. You're just like you're just electric connections in your fucking brain. What are you here for if it's not to have a somewhat good experience? Obviously, there's plenty of moments in life that are sacrifices, when plenty of people work a job they don't want to do in order to save up and whatever, be able to have some quality time in a house, eating food with your family or something. That's many people's way of functioning, and seeing your friends and partying, doing things that give you joy. So you can have a good time all the time, but it is still supposed to be about having a good time in the end, isn't it? So when your brain is breaking, take that shit seriously, because it takes you weird places. I started out with like a little hiss in my ear, and now I don't even know if my eyes will ever stop being dry, and I don't know if it's my fault. I don't know if it was always meant to happen. I don't know if it was genetic. But if I hadn't spent my life on my computer for the past few years, because I had no direction in life, or didn't know better, or was too weak, or was coping with stuff that wasn't resolved, or whatever, you name it, right? I don't even know why it happened. Maybe it wouldn't have been that way. And I took no initiative, really. Again, I don't like. Let's not care about me too much, fellas, even though this is definitely about me. Hi, Tedious. Hey, thank you. Thank you for the nice reaction to my reaction. I appreciate that, actually. That's really cool. I'm glad you liked it. I'll listen to more Arcade Fire. I definitely will. I don't know if it's gonna be on camera or not, but I will. I didn't even talk about YouTube yet in this fucking video. Not much, but yeah, this isn't as much about me as I want it to be like a learning experience for you guys, and also I guess I'm doing it to shed the stupid ass idea that like sharing shit with people is bad, and that I should never talk about myself, and because like there's so much to learn from this shit. The first thing I thought about when my ears got injured is like, I have to share this, and I actually did. I did presentation at school, presentations, when I was in, I guess it would be maybe 11th, no, 12th grade. Is 12th grade a thing? I don't know. The 2 last years of high school, I did presentations, and I was like, oh yeah, don't fuck with your ears. Here's what happens, whatever, tinnitus and shit. And you'll probably be fine, but maybe buy earplugs and stuff. And because this can happen, this is the same way with everything else that happens in life. Like if I can talk about being a fucking porn addict, I'm gonna fucking do it. I don't care. Hi, mom. Like I don't care. It's because people care so much that they get so fucking depressed, and it's because I cared so much about mistakes that I was being this way. I literally I didn't allow myself to make a single mistake. I would make a mistake and then it would haunt me forever. So just, I talked about, at the beginning of the stream, I talked about the star system and how, like, it's really wrong for people to idolize people whose art they like. And I guess even me, with my small ass 1,000 subscriber YouTube channel, I can be part of a movement that helps to destroy that, because I can be real with people. I can turn on the camera and go live and show a, hey, I'm not a YouTube format, all right? I'm a person, and I'm like you, and I'm sad. And when you're an actual star, which obviously I am not, but we're talking about, like, the girl behind me here. When you're Billie Eilish, you have a huge amount of pressure to not be real, but she is still real. Like, she's a good example of someone who's grounded and doesn't have a hard time, like, being real with people and opening up about her issues. But I guess either in my head or in truth, like, there's a lot of celebrities that aren't like that, and they will show you what is convenient to show, and then it creates this terrible, sick culture of an iceberg of millionaires that everybody reveres and who never talk about things that actually matter. And I believe that, and I believe that's a real fucking problem. So here I am with my pain, and I'm giving it to you, so hopefully you can just translate it into meaning. Thanks, Arthur. I mean, I might feel better soon. I don't know, you know. I don't know how easy it'd be to judge my persona based on whatever you saw of it so far, but I still appreciate the compliment. I just think maybe what a lot of people see when they watch internet people is kind of the tip of the iceberg, right? But fuck it, I appreciate it though. So I guess I'll be ending the stream pretty soon. I know a couple of people just joined, so I just want to say hi. Hi, Mike Henry. I basically was talking about my history of depression and anxiety and addiction over the past 6 years, and how it's kind of culminated into me having dry eyes today and really caring about it so much that I couldn't possibly envision going to sleep without talking about it, so I'm just talking about it. Thank you so much. I mean, honestly, I'm gonna talk about a couple last things. My grandfather, and again, I'm not doing this for pity. I genuinely am not. But it's a part of life. He has Alzheimer's. I don't know why. Alzheimer's, it's associated actually apparently with too much sugar. If you eat it a lot, you can get it. Or even maybe they're researching a viral cause. Maybe it's they still don't exactly know what it is, but he fucking got it, and he's drinking like 2-3 beers a day, and he tried to open the door of the building with his credit card and stuff like that. So he's not doing that good, but he's there when you talk to him, and he won't forget things like all the time, and he remembers people's names, and he knows who he is, and he's my grandpa. He's my grandpa, and he was getting up at like 11 or noon, pretty much every day between 10 and noon when I was with him and grandma in January, and so was I. And it was really convenient because I could rest my eyes, and I'm kind of like that anyway. I'm shifted in time, and I get up late sometimes because, as I said, I have no schedule. And on the day that I took a train back home, he got up at 6 a.m. or 6:30 or something, and he insisted to walk me to the train station, which was like a 10-15 minute walk for him. 30 minutes total. And cold morning, and he's fucking 79. It's not easy for him. And so I was walking with him, alongside him. We were doing the same thing, going at the same speed. We're roughly the same size. We looked very similar. If you had looked at us from 100 yards afar, we were just two people walking. But what we were doing was completely different from one of us to the other. I was just a 21-year-old guy walking to get his train. He was a 79-year-old man, basically with dementia and really bad legs and ankles, walking with me because he loved me, and that was literally one of the last times he's gonna get up at 6 a.m. in his life. Like, it was a crazy effort for him. Definitely, And he didn't show it. He took it like a fucking champ. And I tried to get him to rest and like not go with me because I didn't need it. But he was doing it out of love, and so I couldn't actually refuse. I was like, yeah, sure, I'll walk with you. May be good for you. And I knew he would find the way back home fine, and he always has. And he did. I know he did. This was months ago, but it was just fucking crazy to think about that. And so just when we were walking like that, I was like, oh, this is a completely different thing he's doing there. This is so trivial to me. This is one of his last morning walks, and then he's gone. And I don't know what happens after that. I really don't know. I don't know where he's going. I don't have definite thoughts about afterlife. I don't know what to think about it. But I was like, this is it. This is all we have. One day I'm gonna be the 79-year-old guy walking like that. It's fucking crazy that I'm still in my head obsessing about shit. It's fucking crazy that I still like have depression or whatever, right? Because we all die, and I'm not doing what I want to do. Like, what? Like, I'm not set on becoming the best person I could be or making music for people or shit, and I'm just like sad and I just waste my life. Like, that's crazy. It just, yeah, in the span of a few minutes of just walking with him, we weren't even saying anything, but it completely brain fucked me, and I was like, oh fuck, what is this life? It's such a weird place. Just it's not sad at all, by the way. Like, it's not sad that this is a thing. It's how it has to be. Like, how fucking boring would it be if you would live forever? No one would do anything, right? Would they? I don't know. But it wouldn't matter. They wouldn't need to do anything. So it would lose a lot of its flavor, right? Anthony Green? I don't know who. Sorry about the mouth noises. I don't know who Anthony Green is, but cool. Is he like mainstream or something? Because this is a perfect segue into YouTube. Mortality, whatever. You have your own thoughts about it. Okay, I'm done talking about it, but YouTube, yeah. Sometimes, I get stuck. I've been basically getting stuck for a year in like, oh shit, there's this album or this song I really want to listen to, but if I do it on camera, I could get a few views on YouTube. And so since I'm lazy and I don't have a schedule, I'm just like, okay, I'll do it later. And so there's like, I need to listen to like Pink Moon and all the Kanye albums and all this fucking music, like a huge body of work that I just like, I write little lists, and sometimes I forget, but I just prevent myself from listening to music. There's all this shit I want to hear, and I'm waiting because I could get YouTube views, but I guess I could definitely listen to Anthony Green anytime. I can't care about YouTube views either. It's the same idea as My Eyes or something. It's like, everybody fucking dies. What the fuck am I doing? I don't even make money on YouTube when I react to music and I put the full song in because YouTube claims it. YouTube doesn't even make money on it. They don't even run ads on this shit. I don't even know why. Like the label just claims the video, but they don't even run ads on it. So it's so dumb. Life is really a weird thing, isn't it? It's a weird thing. So I wanted to talk about my grandpa. I wanted to talk about YouTube and say basically, yeah, it's a fucking mess. You know, it's what it is. I'm gonna. I thought about making another channel or something for the reactions, but I only have 1,000 subs. Like, what the fuck am I doing? Making alternate channels, you know? I actually made another channel this year for YouTube Shorts, and I had a video that fucking blew up on it. And so I had 400 subs from one video. And I could have 50% more subs on this channel right now, but since it was another channel, I didn't. It's so stupid. I should have kept it on my main channel. I also wanted to talk about something that probably will be the last thing I say, so I don't know if I want to say it just yet. Give me like 5 seconds to think. Yeah, I made a channel a few months back to do things like this. I specifically wanted to not do things like this, and I talk about it on the channel, and for the reasons I mentioned, you know, loss of confidence in myself, and I was like, no, I can't be too personal with people, but I still wanted to have this outlet of self-expression, and I wasn't willing to do this on this channel. So there's a channel called 69 Key Smash, okay, and I'll type it in the chat right now. Basically, if you look that up, that's me, and I talk about stuff, and basically seeing my grandpa walk like that with me made me realize my mortality, and my eyes made me realize that as well. And I'm just like, I was running this channel as a social experiment to see what would happen if I didn't shout out a secondary channel and I just let the YouTube algorithm do stuff, and I didn't even show my face. So it was just like black videos, just a black screen and me talking over it. I wanted to see what happened, but it's gonna take me years to reach out to anybody to reach out to a large amount of people if I want to do that. I don't have that kind of time, and I don't want to play these kind of games. So this is my channel, 69 Key Smash. Look it up. It's just an orange profile picture. All the videos have weird names, and there's no video description, and it's just black thumbnails on screens during the video. This is me, and we're gonna talk about stuff. I have a lot of shit to say, and I'm gonna say it. And if you want to tag along, you can ask me questions. You can send me an email. I'll figure out a way to do that. You can send an email to the email in this channel's description box. If you want to ask questions, talk about whatever, philosophy, human nature, ask advice, give me advice, talk about nipples and boobs and your favorite kind of cookie. I really don't care, talk about anything. I'm starving for human connection, and not in a bad way. Like, we're not gonna be friends, okay? But who fucking knows? Actually, I don't know. That's not the point, right? I'm just interested in ideas and in discussion. So yeah, this is really it. I'm a really sad person, and I've been going off the rails a little bit, but I probably fool myself too, because as I said, I don't care much about a lot of things except for my dry eyes, and tomorrow I could wake up and be fine. And I know that I'm just insane for caring about the veins in my eyes. I can't feel them. I know that I can't feel them because obviously everybody has fucking veins in their eyes, and there's plenty of days where I don't feel them and they're here. I can see them though. So, I know that this is completely bullshit and just another way of running from myself and being perfectionistic and ruining my fucking life. So this is not a real problem yet. Maybe if I go another year with problems with my eyes, I'll be able to say, yeah, this is a problem, and then I'll get over it. Then, something horrible will happen, and I'll be like, I don't care about my eyes anymore. So I think I repeated myself just about enough today. If any of you three watching have a specific question, you can shoot it in the chat right now. And otherwise, I think I'm gonna close this off and be done for today. And yeah, I mean, it's kind of just about as much my fault as it is your decision that you're here right now, because I just made this kind of clickbaity title. I'm very sad, right? So you just tagged along. I don't know. Maybe you're watching this because you're addicted to screens as well. Maybe you don't even want to be here, but nonetheless, I have to thank you for spending this moment in time with me as as I try to navigate what the fuck this life is. What do you mean it's not my fault? I tried to draw you in with my clickbait. Did I fail? Was that an independent decision? I wanted it to be my fault. Come on. Thank you. Yeah, thank you guys. I appreciate it. But yeah, I'm not gonna do this a lot on my channel. I'll do it occasionally. But if you want, if you want to hear like weird, personal and somewhat philosophical shit like that, you can check out the channel above, 69 Key Smash. That is me. Thank you very much for listening. Thank you very much. Sorry whoever just joined, unless you have a really good pun, a dad joke or something right now. I have to get going because it's been 2 hours and I said what I needed to say. But I'll wait for it to be 2:22 because that's good. I love that shit. It's gonna be hard to time it. Take her image home. Couldn't go much further than that. Stay safe too. This is where I belong. City of the past. Goodbye, everybody. Oh, fuck.